The delusional mindset of an average Western woman who lives in America.
You need to be crossing out any man right now that is not beneficial to you or your life in any way, shape, or form.
Versus the average woman who lives in Germany or even across Europe.
It matter how much the first date costs?
No, I don't care about that. You know, like I can pay it for us. Like I don't care, but he has to be nice to me.
Well, the difference in these women's mindset is just like night and day. While the first lady in this clip seems to be absolutely delusional and even has unrealistic expectations, which makes me ask the questions, girl, what makes you so special for you to say something like that? It makes it very obvious that the second lady, who's obviously a Ukrainian living in Germany, is so much easier to get along. She has normal standards, she has common sense, and guess what? She uses it. She didn't say anything like, oh yeah, he needs to pay because the man has to do that on the first date. She said, no, not necessary. All I want him is to be nice to me, which in my opinion is very warranted, right? In today's video, we are going to talk about why so many men actually choose to date outside of the US, which does not mean that all women in America are delusional with unrealistic expectations. I'm making this video today just to show the differences, and maybe there is something that some woman somewhere can actually adapt into her life if she wants to have different results in her dating life. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's jump right into the video. I found a married couple on TikTok. He is from America and she is from Europe. They both live in Germany, but I'm not quite sure what country she is from. And she asked her husband, what is the difference between dating an American versus dating a German/European girl? He mentioned 3 things, but they always throughout the whole video make it very, very clear that they're not talking about or generalizing all American women. We're just talking about the majority. And you also have women over here in Germany or even in other European countries who have a toxic feminism mindset, but there are still women out here where you can have hope with. But you know what? Let them explain.
I told my husband to give me 3 reasons why it's better to date a German or /European than American.
You're gonna get me in trouble with these American girls.
Here's reason number 1.
Alright, so this isn't a blanket statement for all American girls, but where we live, it's very keeping up with the Joneses. And something that really turns me off is when girls are just very materialistic. I found that most, European girls are just not as materialistic in that sense.
Well, I will totally co-sign this because a lot of women over here in Europe, they do not care about a man's material. Of course, they want you to have your shit together, if I'm allowed to say it like that, but you know what I mean. Have a job, have goals, stay occupied, just contribute to a daily life. But they're not looking for a man to pay for everything. They are not looking into a man's pocket that they can just benefit off of. Because women over here, they're educated. Yes, women in America are educated as well. But still, there are highly educated women somewhere in America. They're like, wait a minute, I make my money, it's my money. The man that I'm going to marry or the man that I want to meet, he's going to have to still maintain my lifestyle.
Reason number 2.
Again, not blanket. I just feel as though European women would just be more inclined to take on that traditional wife role. Stay-at-home mom, cook, clean, and be happy with it.
By the way, it's all just on personal experience. We are not talking about every single American girl or man
And no
out there.
offense to any girl or any guy. I love all women. It's not.
Excuse me.
That's not what I mean. You know what I mean.
Excuse me?
And you know what? We'll be okay with it, we'll be happy with all of that, and we will still go to work and make the money and contribute to the household. It's really not a big thing. That's why back then when my video went viral at around July of last year, where I said that I was just so young, taking care of my man, cooking meals, doing all of these things, which a lot of modern women really hated me for, it's very, very common and basic over here in Germany. Of course, there are some women that are like, I'm not going to do anything for a man. But the majority over here, they don't care because it's a simple daily activity and we learn it as we are growing up. So even if some couples, they're getting to know each other, okay, well, they're not couples right then and there, but let's say you have two people who are just getting to know one another, it is very common that they cook dinner. The girl cooks for him, or maybe they just cook together. So what they say, I fully agree with. Women over here are still okay with the fact that they're going to be traditional wives, living in a modern world, meaning all of those traditional values, morals, they're still being practiced while there is so much madness going on outside of our homes. Can you imagine the value of some woman like that in your life? You just have to go out every single day, just deal with the outside world, all of the BS, and you're coming home to a cooked meal? Especially even after the woman is coming home from work? That's crazy.
Great.
I would just say I feel like the maturity level is a little different. I mean, when I met her, I was 27, she was 22, but she was so much more mature than any 22-year-old American girl at this time. So I was happy with that.
So when he speaks about a woman's maturity at a very young age, I'm sure he's speaking about such things as accepting a man's boundaries, her emotional intelligence, her being able to actually take accountability for her actions, her self-respect, her awareness, her financial responsibility. These are all things that are very, very important for a woman, not only as for her, but also when she's in a relationship. Or even her attitude. A lot of women have nasty attitudes nowadays. So when a man actually comes across a woman and he's able to have a relationship with someone who's actually kind, respectful, soft-spoken, doesn't call him bro and all of these things, that's a blessing to a man. While men really just want the basic things. A lot of women in return, they go for the big things, but they don't want to do anything in return. And for me, being in a relationship for about 23 years and being in a marriage for 16 years, yes, with one man, I can tell you, if you are delusional with your expectations, if you think that you're just, the gift that was sent from God onto this planet, you're going to be alone. And I know that a lot of women are happy being alone, but at the end of the day, I also know that a lot of women want to be in a relationship. And if a lot of women do not turn it down a notch or even two, they're going to remain single. We all have a lot to learn, and you can learn something new every single day. But what you need to kick as a woman is thinking that you are special. And I'm not saying this to put you down. I am not saying this to talk down on women. I'm for women. That's why I'm over here trying to teach you some things, but also at the same time trying to show men that there are better options in different countries if some women in other countries just really do not know how to behave or to act. I'm not telling women to be, go ahead and have a relationship with a bum or with a man that has nothing going on with himself. But don't expect a man to make six figures if you are not a six-figure woman. And when I say that, a woman has to have certain qualities to herself in order to even qualify for a man who makes six figures a year. And having a foul mouth, dressing provocative, having naked pictures all over your social media, being greedy, trying to show off all of the time, being disrespectful, are not qualities like that. But a lot of women do display exactly that. So let me know what you think about today's video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Like I said, this video is not made to offend anyone. I'm just trying to teach people. And if you like this video, make sure you share with your friends and family. Also leave a like, leave a comment, stay safe in these streets, and catch me in the next video.